Hello everyone. In this video lecture, let us discuss on the topic rectifiers under Unit 5 of Electronic Circuits 1. So some of the topics are discussed here is linear mode power supply, rectifiers, half-wave rectifiers, power supply and its derivations. So let me give some introduction about the topics. The power supplies are a half of each and every electronics devices. So a wide difference of circuits are used to satisfy such factors as power rating, cost, regulation and so on. So all electronic circuits require DC power supply either from the battery or power back units. So next let us move on to the topic. So what is a linear mode power supply? So many electronic components contain circuits which converts the AC power supply into DC voltage at the required level. The unit containing these circuits is called the linear mode power supply. So this is a block diagram representation of the linear mode power supply. The transformer supplies 230 volt 50 Hz AC voltage at the desired level. This bidirectional AC voltage is converted into unidirectional AC voltage using the bridge rectifier. Here the filter block is used to remove unwanted ripple content of this pulsating DC voltage, and so we get pure DC output. So this output of the filter is passed to a regulator which gives a stable DC output, and it is independent of load variation and input supply fluctuations. Next one, rectifiers. So what is meant by rectifiers? It is nothing but an electronic device that is used to convert AC voltage to pulsating DC voltage. So it utilizes a unidirectional conduction device like a vacuum tube or PN junction diode. The rectifiers are classified depends upon the period of conduction as half-wave rectifier and full-wave rectifier. The full-wave rectifier again classified into two types. One is a full-wave rectifier using center tap transformer. Another one is a bridge rectifier. Next, the symbols which are used in this unit are listed below. So N2 is nothing but the secondary number of turns. N1 is primary number of turns. EPM is the peak value of primary voltage. ESM is the peak value of secondary voltage. F is nothing but supply frequency. IM is peak value of the load current. RS is the resistance of the secondary winding of the transformer. RF is the forward diode resistance. So IDC is nothing but average DC load current. EDC is nothing but average DC load voltage, where IRMS is RMS value of load current. PDC is nothing but DC power output. PAC is AC power input, where eta is the efficiency of the rectifier. It is a gamma is the ripple factor. IL is the load current. PIV is the peak inverse voltage. Finally, TUF is nothing but transformer utilization factors. Next, what is the half-wave rectifier? So the half-wave rectifier is nothing but only one half of the AC voltage is rectified. For the other half we get zero voltage. Other half will be a zero voltage. So the purpose of this here, this is a circuit diagram of half-wave rectifier. Here the purpose of the transformer is step down the input voltage. We get the desired level of DC voltage. In this figure, the diode forms a series circuit with the secondary of the transformer and the load resistor RL. So when the primary of the transformer is connected to the input supply and AC voltage, the voltage is introduced across the secondary. The induced in the across the secondary are equal to or greater than the primary voltage depending upon the turns ratio of the secondary by the equation. So ES is equal to ESM into sine omega t, where omega is equal to 2 pi f. F is nothing but the frequency, supplied frequency. So that means the transformer decides the peak value of the secondary. So the relationship between number of turns in terms of voltages is nothing but N2 by N1 is equal to ESM by EPM. So for during the positive half cycle of the input, the terminal A is positive with respect to B. So this polarity makes the diode is forward bias. This means that this will act as a closed circuit, so that the current IL flows through the load resistor RL. Whereas that means since the forward bias resistor offering very low resistance, the voltage drop across it is also very small. For example, 0.3 volts for germanium and 0.7 volts for silica. So next, this one is a half-wave rectifier waveform. So therefore, the voltage appears across the load terminal is practically the same as that of the voltage, that is the input voltage at every instant. Here look at this. So this is our input waveform. So this is our output. So the output is nothing but whatever the input that will be appear in your output. So during the negative half cycle, what happened the negative half cycle? So this terminal is more negative when compared to this one. So that the diode will act as a open circuit. That means no current flow in this RL. So that all the input voltage appears across the diode. So that itself here. So that in your output is 0. So here look at this waveform. This will be 0. Here also this one. The first one is the input waveform, second one is the output load current, third one is the load voltage. Next one, so the average DC load current. So average DC load current is nothing but it is obtained by integration. So if for finding out the average value of the alternating waveform, we have to determining the area under the curve over one complete cycle, that means for 0 to 2 pi. So this here 0 to 2 pi. So on this the divided by its base 2 pi. So mathematically the current waveform can be described like this. So IL is equal to Im sin omega t for omega t in between 0 to pi. So that IL is equal to 0 for omega t value pi to 2 pi. So IDC is nothing but 1 by 2 pi integral of 0 to 2 pi IL d omega t. So you know this IL value for this half-wave rectifier is substitute that one. So substitute Im sin omega t. So here the no current flowing through the half-wave, that is the negative half cycle. That means omega t is pi to 2 pi is 0. So that you change the limit also here 0 to pi only. So substitute this one and integrate it and find the simplify this and find the values. So that is IDC is equal to Im by pi, that is your average value. This is next one is the average DC load voltage. So this is what is a product of current into resistance. So EDC is equal to Im by pi into RL. So that you remove this IDC in terms of this Im, substitute this value IDC in terms of Im by pi. So and then again Im is nothing but ESM by sum of all three resistor value. So substitute this one, and here the RF plus RL values are very small when compared to this one. So simplify this, that is EDC is equal to ESM by pi. So next one, the RMS value of load current. This is the RMS value. So RMS means root mean square value. That means root of 1 by 2 pi integral of 0 to pi Im sin omega t square into d omega t. So substitute this, and instead of the sine square omega t, substitute the formula 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2, and simplify this, integrate and simplify, and finally we obtained the value IRM is equal to Im by 2. So next one, what is the DC power voltage? The parameter DC power voltage. So what is the DC power? There is a power is nothing but generally you know. So what is the voltage into current? So this voltage in terms of Ohm's law, I into R. So again substitute this. So I square DC by RL. I square DC into RL. So DC power output is IDC square into RL. You know already IDC, just substitute and then find out the PDC. Similarly, you know Im value, Im in terms of voltage and resistor is substituted, and finally we obtained the value of PDC is equal to ESM square RL divided by pi square into RL plus RS whole square. So next one, AC power input, PAC, that is the PAC is equal to IRMS square into sum of 3 resistor value. So RMS is equal to Im by 2. You know this one. So just substitute and find out the IAC, which gives this one. Im square by 4 into RL plus RF plus RS. Next one, you know this, there is a DC power output and AC power output. Next, find out the parameter efficiency. So efficiency is nothing but the ratio of DC power output to AC input power. So you just you know these two values, just substitute and simplify, and then if you assume that RF plus RS is far less than this RL, so that your efficiency will becomes like this 40.6%. This efficiency is so this means maximum 40.6% the AC power gets converted to DC power in the load. So if the efficiency of the rectifier is 40%, then what happened to the remaining 60% of the power? It is presented in terms of ripple in the output, which is fluctuating component presented in the output. So there is more efficiency, less the ripple content in the output. Next, the ripple factor. So ripple factor is nothing but the ratio of RMS value of AC component to average value of DC component. So that IRMS is equal to root of AC square plus IDC square. So what is IAC? So IAC is nothing but IRMS square minus IDC square. So now the ripple factor is IAC by IDC. So you substitute this into replacing this one into this. So that will become like this. So you take the common factor for this one and simplify, you substitute the IRMS and IDC in terms of Im, and then you simplify, find out the value of ripple factor is 1.211. This is very high value. That means more amount of AC component are presented in your output. So that next one, the load current and the peak inverse voltage, PIV. So what is the load current here? This one, the first term is nothing but the average DC value of the load current. Second one is varying the component having frequency. This is called as fundamental component. The third one is the second harmonic component, that is, which is also varying the component twice the frequency. So next, similarly, all other terms represents the AC component and are called harmonics. Next one, PIV, peak inverse voltage. So it is the peak voltage across the device in the reverse bias condition. In this case, the load current ideally is 0. Then the diode is reverse biased, and hence the maximum value of voltage that can exist across the diode is nothing but the ESM. So that is equal to pi into EDC at IDC is equal to 0. So which is called as the peak inverse voltage rating of the diode. So the diode must be selected based on the PIV rating. So this is called PIV rating of the diode. So diode must be selected based on this PIV rating and the circuit specifications. So next we will move on to the another parameter. It is a transformer utilization factor, TUF. So what is the transformer utilization factor? Is defined as the ratio of DC power delivered to the load to AC power rating of the transformer. So first find out the AC power rating of the transformer is nothing but ERMS into IRMS. So that what is the ERMS? ESM by root 2. So IRMS is IM by 2. Just substitute and simplify this. That is ESM IM into 2 into root 2. So what is the DC power delivered to the load is? So IDC square into RL. So you substitute this IDC in terms of IM by pi and then find out the DC power delivered to the load. So find out these two parameters. You substitute into this transformer utilization factor. That is a DC power delivered to the load by AC power rating of the transformer. Just substitute it and then find out the value. Here there is a ESM is equal to IM into RL. So there is a neglecting the drop across RF and RS. We can write this one. ESM is equal to IM into RS. So the transformer utilization factor is 0.287. So this is very low, which shows that in half-wave rectifier circuit, the transformer is not fully utilized. Next one, what are all the advantages? What are all the disadvantages of half-wave rectifier? So first point is the ripple factor is very high. That is 1.211. That means the output contains lot of varying components. So in case of efficiency is 40.6% only. It's quite insufficient. The remaining 60% component was AC component are presented. The transformer utilization factor is 0.28%. It shows that the transformer is not utilized. So the DC current is flowing through the secondary winding of the transformer, which may cause DC saturation of the core of the transformer. To minimize the saturation, transformer size have to be increased accordingly. This increase the cost. So because of these disadvantages, the half-wave rectifier is normally not used as a power rectifier circuit. Next one, summary of this derivations. So this summary will help you to work out the problems in problems in EC. So that let us move on to the problem. The problem statement is a half-wave rectifier circuit is applied from a 230 volts 50 Hz supply with a step-down ratio of 3:1 to a resistive load of 10 kilo ohm. The diode forward resistance is 75 ohm, while transformer secondary resistance 10 ohm. Calculate maximum, average, RMS value of the current, DC output voltage, efficiency of the rectification and ripple factor. So solution for this problem is you draw that is a circuit diagram of half-wave rectifier and substitute the values are given in here. RF is equal to 75 ohms and RL is 10 kilo ohms. The ratio of this N1 and N2 are 3:1. Here the input supply is 230 volts and 50 Hz. Next, the given values are listed out here. So find out the EPRMS. Already given. So EPRMS is 230 volts. So N2 by N1 is 1 by 3. Just substitute this equation and find out the ESRMS. So you know the ESRMS. Just find out the ESM. That is a root 2 into ESRMS. So you find out the ESM. That is 108.423 volt. So you know the ESM and you know all the resistor value. You find the ISM, which is equal to IM. So that IM is equal to 108.423 divided by 10 plus 75 plus 10 into 10 power 3. So that is equal to 10.75 milliamperes. So Im is 10.75 milliamperes. Next, find out the IAV, that is equal to IDC, average value. That is, you know already this one, Im by pi. Just substitute this and find out the value. That is 3.422 milliampere. What is the IRMS value? IRMS is nothing but Im by 2. Just Im value, you know, just substitute and find out the value, which gives 5.375 milliampere. Next one, EDC. So what is the EDC? EDC is nothing but DC output voltage. So you know the current, you know the resistor value, just to multiply that and find out the EDC, that which gives 34.22 volt. Next one, power, that is a PDC, that is DC output power. So EDC into IDC, you know EDC this and IDC, just to find out the substitute and find out the value of PDC, that is 0.1171 watt. What is the next? Find out the PAC. PAC nothing but AC input power. So that is AC input power is IRMS square into sum of all the resistance value. You just substitute the values and find out the PAC. You know the PADC and PDC and PAC, and find out the efficiency of the half-wave rectifier. The efficiency of the half-wave rectifier in terms of percentage is nothing but PDC by PAC into 100. So you substitute this value PDC and PAC and find out. Finally, we get the efficiency is 40.19%. The ripple factor is constant for half-wave rectifier, that is 1.21, which is very high. That's all for the solution for this problem. Thank you for watching this video.